Okay, good morning, everybody. It's really nice to see you all. Thank you for coming to the Leigh this morning. It's a lovely Saturday morning. This is our second of 7 talks that we'll be giving over the course of today and next Saturday. And it's a great pleasure to welcome you here to the Leigh Technology Academy. My name is Simon Beamish. I'm one of the principals here at the Leigh. Over to my left, your right, is Sharon Waterman, also one of the principals at the Leigh for Darwin College, and 3 of our wonderful students who join us this morning when they could have been resting in bed. God bless them, and they'll be talking to you a little bit later, introduced by Miss Waterman. A couple of housekeeping items before we get going. If you do have your mobile phone on you, could I just politely ask you to check that it is turned off? We don't wish to be interrupted by one of those ringing throughout the talk. And also, we're not planning a fire drill this morning, so if the alarm goes off, it is genuine, and we need to exit via the door just over here to my right, again to your left. Okay, so let's just wait until our last few guests for this second talk are seated, and then we'll get going. Okay, as I said, it's a great pleasure to have you here. The purpose of this talk, which will take about 30 or 40 minutes, is to give you a real genuine flavour of what it's like to be a student here at the Leigh. And then following that, there will also be a tour of the building to give you a sense of this space in which we work. We will locate ourselves down at reception at the very end. Should you have any questions, we would be delighted to take those then. This slide here, the first one that we have, shows the Leigh from an aerial photograph. We're located currently down on this yellow section, which is the restaurant, arts and lecture theatre space. As you walk back through the building, you will go through the horseshoe that you can see in the middle. That's where the 4 colleges are located, and more about those in just a moment. Back towards reception, the red area there is also the sports, the dance, the drama, the multi-gym space, and we'll take you back through there towards the end of this morning. So that's the Leigh. It's a wonderful building, and we have the pleasure of calling it our place of work. So moving on, as students come into that building every morning, they see this sign, Inspiring the Next Generation. It's a theme for this talk, and the reason we put it there is that the Leigh is far from being an exam factory. We do have very, very good examination results, but we believe in making sure that students are prepared properly for the life that they have ahead of them. They are the ones that will take the torch from all of us as grown-ups. They are the ones that will shape the next generation, and they are the ones who will create a better world. And we believe that we have a profound role to play in ensuring they have the knowledge and skills to go on and do just that. Moving on to the next slide. This shows one of the internal courtyards, plazas as we call them, or winter gardens at the Leigh. Yes, we have gardens indoors. Quite remarkable when you think of perhaps the schools that you attended way back in your youth. I don't think they look like this, but we have gardens indoors, and one of these spaces is often a place for a meeting of students or a meeting of staff, or maybe an intervention session or a lesson. Over to the side, you can see one of the colleges. That's Da Vinci College. The Leigh is organised into 4 colleges, and more about that later. Chaucer College, of which I'm principal, the blue one. The green one, where Miss Waterman is principal. Darwin. Da Vinci, the yellow one. And then Brunel at the front of the building, the red one. Each of those has their own principal, vice principal, team of staff, and also students, and all of those people call that space their home within the school. So a little bit about the Leigh model then. As you probably picked up, the Leigh is not an ordinary secondary school. It doesn't have a traditional way of doing things. It's unique, it's really quite special, and we've been developing our own unique approach and model of education over the last few years. On the slide in front of you, you can see some of the characteristics that make the Leigh different to more conventional secondary schools. So first of all, we have what we call a vertical tutoring system within the Leigh. Every single student becomes a member of one of those 4 colleges, and once they are in those colleges, they become member of a vertically organised tutor group. That means that as students in year 7 right the way through to year 14, they work together within those tutor groups to support one another. They're led by a tutor, maybe 2 tutors, and they operate as a family unit in order to make sure that all of those students are cared for and work towards academic success within the school. It's a unique feature of the Leigh, and it's very powerful in making sure that students enjoy coming to school each day, they are happy and well supported. We operate a small schools model. I've mentioned the 4 colleges. The reason that we do that is that primary schools, we think, are often better than secondary schools at certain things that they do, particularly understanding, getting to know, and caring for your sons and daughters. The reason they're often better is they are smaller. You see the teachers or even the head teacher at the gate every day, and the communication between you and the school is often much better than it is in normal secondary schools. At the Leigh, we're a very, very big school, 1,500 students, one of the biggest across the region. And the danger of a school of that size, if it's not organised well, is that students become lost, they become anonymous, and therefore they don't achieve as well as they could. At the Leigh, as well as having all the benefits of a bigger school, such as its wonderful facilities for sport, art, music, drama, technology, we organise ourselves into smaller colleges of 400 students. And in that way, we can do all the very good things that the primary schools do in making sure that your sons and daughters are well looked after, they're known as individuals and nurtured as they move through school. It's the best of both worlds, what we call a human scale education. We use time and space very flexibly at the Leigh. We have 90-minute lessons so that the outcomes of those lessons are much more considerable than schools that have lessons of just an hour. We use space very flexibly. Lessons may well start in one of the classroom areas that are in each of the colleges, but students typically break out of those classroom spaces, accessing the Apple Macs and the technology within the plazas in order to develop their learning. It's not sitting in rows, 30 students per class, that kind of traditional model, that mindset that you may have been used to when you went to school. We have a modular system of learning and assessment. Students at the beginning of each of their modules work with their teachers in order to plan the next 6 or 7 weeks of their learning based upon their needs. At the end of that period of learning, they will review what they've done and, with their teacher, help to shape the next phase of the topics that they're studying. At the end of each 6 or 7 weeks, you as parents will receive very detailed feedback on exactly how your sons and daughters are doing in each of their subjects, and twice a year, a full written report. Structuring the year in that way makes sure that learning is tailored to the needs of individuals, and you are kept very well informed of the progress of your son and daughter, and we do that electronically with a login that you can use in order to access the information that you need. We have strong vocational links, regardless of the national agenda, regardless of what Michael Gove might want us to do. We obviously value high-quality academic learning, but in addition to that, vocational learning is also very strong at the Leigh, particularly in sport, in IT, in design and technology, and in business. We have excellent links with employers. We frequently send students out into the world of work, and employers come into school so that students have a proper understanding of what life looks like and how it works beyond the safe environment of school. It's all about preparing students for the world that they will enter so they can be successful in later life. We operate a trust of academies. The Leigh was the founding academy within the Leigh Academies Trust. It's the one with the longest track record of success. It is, as you will know, one of the most high-achieving schools in the whole of the southeast of England and has been doing that for many years. But we're delighted now to be able to work very closely with a family of schools, all within the Leigh Academies Trust. We have 3 secondary schools, as well as the Leigh, Longfield, where I was principal before coming here in September. We have Wilmington Academy. As well as that, we have York Road and Hartley, which are primary schools within the Trust, and also Milestone Academy, which is one of the country's largest and most successful special schools. In September 2014, excuse me, we're opening what's called a UTC, a University Technical College, which will admit students from the age of 14. Working together as a group of schools, we can share best practice, we can challenge one another in order to achieve ever higher results, and that's what we do on a daily basis, working within a very successful trust of schools. Having reviewed the examination results across the area, I'm sure you have done that, as parents of students that will enter secondary school last year, you will see that the most successful secondary schools within the Dartford area all belong to the Leigh Academies Trust. We have a can-do approach. We don't see problems, we only see solutions, and we achieve improvements year on year. We have wondered what we'll do when we get to 100%, but we've got a plan for that. And then lastly, but probably most importantly, we place students at the heart of everything that we do. Every decision that's made, we place the students and their interests at the very centre. These are our examination results at GCSE from this summer. They were the best in the Leigh's history. 90% of students, which is fairly typical at the Leigh, achieved 5 higher GCSEs at grades A to C. 63% achieved that, including the all-important English and maths. That was the best set of results in the Leigh's history, well beyond any national average, and one of the best in the region. 30% of students achieved at least 3 higher grades, A star or A, and I think there was one student who went beyond 10, a really fantastic achievement for that particular student. At A-level, or what we call GCE, again, the best results in the Leigh's history. 99% of all grades were pass grades, with many students going on to university. 76% A star to C, and at the bottom, a high watermark for the Leigh. A third of all grades at A-level this year, 1 in 3 being either A star or A, allowing those students to go on to some of the country's most selective universities and most challenging courses therein. So I said at the beginning, it's not just about academic success, but of course that's central. We also prize all of those other excellent qualities that a student develops as they go through school. The Leigh is one of the most successful schools in the region for sport. We typically win regional competitions. More on that later, but I just want to mention one very special success from the summer, and that involved our girls' rugby league team. You'll know if you're a sports fan that rugby league tends to be more popular in the north of England, whereas rugby union is more of a southern sport. So we sent a group of our Year 9 girls up to the north of England to take on a whole variety of schools at their own game. We were the only school from the south to put forward a team to compete in the national championships for rugby league, and guess what? We won. A fantastic achievement for our girls. One of them is here, and we'll speak to you a little bit later. And that's just one example of the tremendous sporting success that the Leigh has enjoyed over the last few years. In design and technology, you'll know that we exhibit all of the fantastic work done by students within Blue Water. This summer, thousands of visitors looked at all of this wonderful work, and we intend to do exactly the same next year. A couple more slides. In drama, more on this will be said later, a whole range of extracurricular activities that happen within the Leigh throughout the year. That's just a flavour, and there are many more besides. My daughters are looking forward to coming to the dance show next Wednesday, which is hosted in here and packed to the rafters, and they've already chosen their dresses as well. In music, a whole range of extracurricular opportunities for students, from peripatetic music lessons, which happen in school regularly on a daily basis, all the way through to big productions and choir visits overseas. So whichever way you look at it, the Leigh has enjoyed and will continue to enjoy tremendous success, and we very much look forward to working with your sons and daughters if you believe that this is the school for them over the coming years. And I now hand over to Miss Waterman for the remainder of the presentation this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Choosing a secondary school is not easy, and I don't envy you as parents and children in the choices that you're about to make. I would like to introduce you to Gemma, who was in the very same position as you 2 years ago, as she is a Year 8 student who has been in the academy for just over a year, and she can remember what it's like to start a new school. I've asked Gemma to share with you what has inspired her about the Leigh Academy.
The Leigh inspires me to learn. Hello parents and potential future pupils of the Leigh Academy. My name is Gemma Giles and I am a Year 8 student here at the Leigh. I am speaking here today to tell you about my past year at this school. The Leigh inspires me in many ways. For example, I am very involved in the drama department of this amazing school. I have been in 2 shows in my time here, Sound of Music, where I was one of the 7 children, and Aladdin, where I was the genie's assistant. On the more academic side of things, the teachers here will inspire you to learn. The way they are so enthusiastic about their work makes me work so much harder. In fact, these teachers have helped me raise my game so much so that in English lessons I am achieving amazing levels like 7C. Now, the thing that's probably most prominent on your minds is how will I cope with the building, how will I make friends, and how will I settle in? And the answer for all of these questions is easily. You'll easily cope with the building, you'll easily make friends, as this is such a large school there is always someone that will be by your side, and you'll easily settle in because you'll always have this friendly atmosphere surrounding you. Here we do things very differently. We are all taught in year groups with 3 teachers for the whole class, although there are some lessons that are taught in groups of about 22. These lessons are French, ICT and DT. PE lessons are also split by gender. In this large building, we have the opportunity to provide access to world-class Mac computers for all students. Every student is given a login, and they will be able to use that login in their own free time and in ICT lessons on the computers on the plazas, which are equipped with around 20 to 25 computers, a board and a projector for lessons. In DT, I have made puppets, mugs, jewellery, pillows, pizza, apple crumble, rock cakes and much more. We offer all these different types of DT, so everyone has the best time they can here. Also, the science labs are fully equipped with gas taps, beakers, test tubes, Bunsen burners and a full range of chemicals. I have made friends in all years due to the nature of the forms. It really helps with the settling in process when older pupils are friendly. When I'm walking in the hallways, I always see my friends from other years and they always say hello and how are you. Now I'm a year 8, I have had the chance to help the newest set of year 7s, getting them used to the place. Yes, I grant you, it is a difficult place to get your bearings at the beginning, but on your first day, everyone in your year will be in the same boat and will be as worried as you are. But don't be worried, because at the Leigh Academy, we are all one big family. Thank you.
Gemma has described our amazing facilities, and I would just like to share some of those with you today. You're sitting here in our lecture theatre in a building that costs £35 million. That's a huge investment in a child's education, but I'm sure you will agree that it's money well spent. The design of this building is a 21st century learning environment. It is open and full of inspirational, flexible learning spaces, filled with the best technology and equipment that money can buy. It is truly an inspirational place to learn. Each college has its own science lab, its own IT facilities, 7 classrooms and 2 learning plazas. They are full of the latest technology and used by our students before school, after school and throughout the day during IT lessons. Our sports facilities are also inspirational. Our gym, which is open to the public, has equipment which you can find in any private health and fitness club. Our sports hall enables the PE learning area to run so many different activities, and our dance studio and access to the all-weather pitches at goals really do enhance the learning experience for our students. The design and technology area boosts industry standard equipment, and every mealtime in our restaurant is a special time for our students. Each college comes together to sit down and eat for 30 minutes each day and enjoys the restaurant quality food we serve. The restaurant is then cleaned, the food replenished and made ready before the next college sits down. Our large classrooms are making a difference to learning. We have 60 students in a room with 3 qualified specialist teachers and support staff. Compare that to the traditional model of teaching we're all familiar with, 30 students and 1 teacher. Our students can take inspiration from 3 teachers who work together to plan lessons using a range of teaching and learning styles to really personalise the learning experience for students such as Gemma. Our Learning Resource Centre is a place to think, a place to work, a place to get inspiration, to learn. We do not take learning for granted. If we are to inspire our students, we need to let them take control of their own learning. It is not uncommon to see students of all ages working independently on the plazas, like the student here working on their textiles project in one of our open spaces, or the group of students here who have more than likely moved from their classroom to one of the winter gardens to plan a presentation. An ability to work with others is surely a skill that we want all of our learners to acquire. The skills and qualities we develop in our students, which cannot be measured by qualifications or a league table, are developed right here at the Leigh. In this photograph, you can see students working collaboratively to build the highest structure possible out of sticks. Drew-Ann, could you share with us how the Leigh inspires you to work with others?
The Leigh has inspired me to work with others. When I started at this academy in Year 7, I was really shy and I didn't like crowds. But when it came to form time, I was really able to get involved. We had older students who informed with us. They helped me with my homework and asked me questions such as, how's school been treating you so far? They were so interested in me and how I was settling into the school. I felt I could come to them with any problems I may have had. There are 15 or 16 form rooms. Form is half an hour, and during these times, on certain days, we have Talking Tuesday, which is when we talk about events that have happened in the world and why they might have happened. Wordy Wednesday, where we play games like Pictionary, word searches, crosswords, and many more. And Freedom Friday, where we can do anything we want with the form tutor's approval. Also, you can interact with all ages during this period of time. The Leigh has given me many opportunities, such as becoming a national champion in rugby with other amazing team members. It was a hard road getting to the nationals. We had the quarter-finals, and then we spent 2 days in Derby where we won the semi-finals. Then we went to Richmond and played in front of around 150 people, where we won 30-6. Chances to be involved in events like these come only once in a lifetime, and I'm happy it came while I was at the Leigh. Thank you.
Our students are given so many opportunities to develop, and we're lucky to have so many talented students here. Our choir perform all around Europe. Professional productions that we put on and the art exhibitions really do enable our students like Drew-Ann and Gemma to be creative. Creativity is one vehicle we use to inspire our students, but there is so much more on offer for our learners, including our student voice. Making sure our students have a voice is important to us, and their ideas and opinions really do count. Every member of staff employed to work at the Leigh is subject to a student interview panel. And I have to say that being on the receiving end of one of those student panels was one of the more challenging aspects of my headship interview a few years ago. Preparing our students for their future lives is one of our highest priorities. They need to know about the world outside and what it could have in store for them. We have 4 90-minute lessons a day, but on occasions we collapse the timetable or take time out to mark special occasions such as Diwali, recognising Remembrance Day, and of course Chinese New Year. As much as we recognise it's important to know your own community, and as well-resourced as this academy is, we like to take students out of the academy to experience different things. We organise a number of educational visits, including study trips both abroad to France, India, China, USA, and home to various attractions and events. This slideshow shows a group of students at King's College, Cambridge, because if we want our students to aspire, they need to be inspired. When our post-16 students were involved in teaching young children in India, it really did prove to be a life-changing experience then. And then each year we look forward to welcoming students from our exchange school in China. We're also proud of our links with local businesses, and members of the business community are regularly seen working within the academy with our students in the inspirational events we run, such as the Academy Business Challenge, which puts our post-16 students into real business apprentice-style situations, which develops so many skills that help them prepare for the next stages of their lives. The Green Power Challenge is another enterprise activity which really engages and challenges our learners. Our post-16 students design, build and finance the battery-powered car, and our Year 7 students get to race the car at a number of racing circuits around the country, which includes Silverstone and Goodwood. We've been very successful in these events, winning races and are consistently placed in the top 10. Alex, as the Academy head boy, would you explain to us how the Leigh has inspired you?
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alexander Lilly, and I am the Academy head boy. Now, before I start explaining how the Leigh has inspired me, I'd like to say that without the Leigh, I would not be standing here before you today with the confidence that I have now. This is my 7th year here, so I've been here since Year 7, and I still remember vividly sitting where you are now on my open day, wondering where my life will take me next. On my first day, Year 7, I was very nervous, as I was the only one from my primary school that's been put into Darwin College, so it gave me the opportunity to make new friends. Sure enough, I made fantastic friends who became my companions within my time within the Leigh. I have made so many great memories with them, memories that I shall cherish dearly, And I know Year 6s, if you decide to come here, you too will get great memories that you'll carry for the rest of your lives. Throughout my whole time here, I have not only just developed relationships with my fellow students, but with the teachers as well. The teachers here could not be more supportive in your work. They stay behind after school to help you with your studies, to ensure that you get the grade that you deserve. When I received my results for GCSE, I received wonderful results that has led me to a further education here studying A-levels. Since the Leigh has given me so much in the past 6.5 years, I wanted to give something back to it, and that is when I decided to apply for head boy. So I plucked up the courage, applied, and I went to my interview. I was very nervous, but I was dedicated to come out there knowing that I did the best I could, and the results show as I stand here before you today. What I never expected, though, was to become the head boy of the academy. I could not be more proud to be in this position, as it finally gives me the chance to give back to the academy what it has given to me. As I was sitting where you are now on my open day, I remember a speech that Mr. Frank Green, the CEO of the Leigh Trust, gave us saying, "The Leigh Academy is the place where your dreams can come true." What he meant by this was that if you come here, you will be able to achieve your dream job in the future. And ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to stand in front of you today and say that I am well on my way to achieving my dream career within the IT industry. So I ask you, Year 6 is here. What is your dream job? It may seem like a millennium away, but you'll be surprised how fast the next 7 or so years will go. How will you achieve that dream? Focus on that thought of being successful in the future, as I know every single one of you in here can achieve your dreams. During my time talking to you, I said one word in particular: dedicated. My father is always telling me, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Though I completely agree with this, I also think that dedication is a key factor in life as well. So Year 6s, I ask you, if you're going to remember something about this day today, then remember this: dedication and preparation leads to success. And where does success lead? Who knows? Anywhere it goes. Thank you very much for listening.
When you take into account all of this, it's no wonder that we're proud to state that the Leigh really does inspire our students. But there are some fundamental things that underpin our work here. We set high standards for uniform, attendance, behaviour and punctuality. We reward people for their efforts. Homework really does matter at the Leigh. Every day, students aged 11 to 18 meet in their tutor group for 30 minutes. Here, students of different ages learn and grow together. Bullying also has no place here at the Leigh. In our unique academy structure, we have created a harmonious community who learn and grow together. A child who has the right environment, the right opportunities, who feels safe and secure, feels valued and is cared for, is a happy child, and happy children are inspired to reach for the stars. Our vision for the Leigh is this: a place where teachers and students are inspired to work and study, a place where people have rights and responsibilities, a place where there is a sense of fun and purpose. I'm sure that you will understand that due to our learning plazas and the open environment that we have here at the Leigh, we are unable to arrange tours during the Academy Day. The short video I'm going to show you is a snapshot of a day in the life of a Year 7 student. It is not a polished, professionally produced video, and that's the intention. We want you to see exactly what learning is like here at the Leigh.
Yeah, it was really fun and exciting because we just came in and it was exciting to learn more people because it's different and yeah, it was really fun. Now you get used to it and I guess you forget what primary school was like.
Everybody, mostly everybody in my college. I didn't think I'd know all my class because I was 60, but then it was quite easy to know all the names.
Yeah.
And to get along. I'm going to be embarrassed because some of the Year 7s are mostly going to be taller than me.
You don't know what to expect either. Because
apparently Year 8's quite good.
Yeah.
It's your last year of relaxing. Well, not relaxing, you're still working, but you're going over stuff and then you're picking your options at the end of Year 8.
So this is design tech.
When you model the cone a minute ago, you model the cone this big. No,
Yes, this lesson is really good for the children. we're going to be cutting it round to make a cone at the top of our bottle, to make it aerodynamic.
Why are you doing that?
So that it'll cut through the air a lot faster and we'll win the competition, hopefully. We're making bottles of rockets. We're doing different stuff.
Just move back behind there. More than just whoosh like that though.
I don't expect anything.
I can't do all this fun stuff.
You're either very brave or very stupid. There you go. Good one. This will be the world record now.
The experiment you're going to carry out is known as like this, and you're going to put it in the bottom. You're going to put the lid back on. Guys, it will take a little while. So, wow!
I don't think it'll work. That last one was the best.
Yeah, I saw that.
Three. Hold the ball. Yeah. Hang.
Right, come on in, partner, step up.
We're doing javelin and we're practicing for sports
Josh, you
day.
take the javelin back out. Release, angle of release, off we go.
You can do running, you can do javelin, long jump.
Good.
We're doing this for our sports day to practice. I've tried the 100 metres, the 800 metres and the 400 metres. Yeah, I really like it here because it's a sports school and they know all about sport and stuff like that.
Pretty good, I think.
It's fun.
Yeah. They mix stuff up.
Yeah.
Football, gym,
softball, rounders.
When it gets raining, we get to do fun stuff inside.
Yeah, like
we did do
Danish
we did do and ping pong. Danish long ball is really cool because you got to play against goals and stuff.
We eat, just like eat and talk really.
We normally come outside and have fun.
Outside, run around.
Go to lunch. Lunch is really nice.
Oh, and sit at tables or go into the library and read some books.
It's
actually been really good. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had lots of fun.
All of you are?
Vous êtes fantastique.
They are from Mixed Champion Boys.
Ils sont fantastiques.
The girls only?
Elles sont fantastiques.
This is art. And basically what we're doing in art is we are drawing pictures of our hands and then drawing different designed lines, and then we've got paint the inside of a hand different colours.
Okay. And what have you done this year?
We've done complementary colours, primary colours, secondary colours, tertiary colours. You don't have stupid people running around with paintbrushes flicking it at you. Inside of the hands we've got primary colours, and on the outside of the hand we've got secondary colours. Do you like that? And now what we do at the moment is we have to draw lines to go through so they look like a pattern. I am so sorry.
I'm so happy using it. So it's really sensible. Right. For those of you who have finished, can you come over and I'm going to show you what you're going to do with these.
We're using tissue paper and then my
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Try not to get in.
If you become friends with someone who's like quite naughty, then don't act the same way because you just get told off.
Don't get on the wrong side.
It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And
don't be afraid.
And don't be afraid of anyone.
We take the responsibility of your child's education very seriously. We do whatever we can to make every day an exciting and inspirational learning experience, so much so that they can't wait to come back the next day. Thank you for your attention. Choosing a secondary school is a very difficult and challenging process, as I have already said, and I don't envy you in such an important decision. Mrs. Collins will now share with you more about the 2013 admissions arrangements.
Okay, so the Academy is part of the Common Admission Framework. This means that you have to apply online along with applying for any other secondary schools that you will be applying to, and the deadline for this is the 31st of October 2013. As well as the online application, we also have a supplementary form which needs to be completed on paper and returned to the Leigh Academy by the same date. That supplementary form can be found at the back of the prospectus pack that we gave to you today. So our criteria. First of all, it comes statemented and looked after children who name the Academy as their first choice. All our applicants will then be asked to sit a cognitive ability test, which will result in all applicants being placed into one of 5 ability bands. These tests are nothing to worry about. They are non-verbal reasoning tests, so with questions like matching shapes and finding patterns. These tests take place on Saturday the 23rd of November. If there are more applicants than places, then the oversubscription criteria will be used. The oversubscription criteria is if we have more than 240 students apply for the 240 places. The first consideration is for any students with social or medical grounds. Secondly, it's for siblings. But obviously that has to be siblings who are still at the Academy on the 1st of September 2014. The remaining applicants then are then divided into the 5 ability bands. They're listed alphabetically and selected by random number generator by Kent, and the places are then filled. In order to apply, you and your children must be resident in the catchment area, as you will see from the postcodes on the slide here. DA1 to 11, DA13, 14, BR8 and TN15. We take 70% of our students from the inner catchment area, and again the schools in our inner catchment area are listed here on the slide. The remaining 30% of places are allocated to the outer catchment. If you are successful and are offered a place, then the offer letter will come to you in the post on the 3rd of March 2014. Just to give you some idea of what's happened in the past, we have had 944 applications last year for the 240 places. So the 240 students were admitted. We then heard 46 appeals, and then additionally we offered 2 places based on those appeals. So we have 240 places at the Leigh for incoming Year 7s. There are also 180 places at Longfield and 180 places at Wilmington, the other 2 secondary schools within the Leigh Academy's trust. So just a reminder then, the closing date for applications is 4:30 on the 31st of October, and that's the online application and the additional form. I would now like to introduce you to Mrs. Valerie Ludlow, who is our admissions secretary over here. It'll be her that you'll be handing your forms to in the main reception, and if you have any queries regarding admission, then you'll be able to speak with her after your tour at reception. Thank you.